Hey guys, Whitney here, and welcome to TEFLPros. On today's call, I sat down with our recent grad, Eric. Now, Eric's story is really cool. He actually got his TEFL certification after he retired from government service, and he and his wife are soon to be moving to Germany. So if you have perhaps considered getting your TEFL certification as a second career option, as an option for retirement, then I encourage you to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing about Eric's experience on the TEFLPros Plus course. Hey, Eric.
Hi, Whitney. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. And big congratulations. You just graduated.
Thank you. It feels good.
Good, good. Your grader said that Eric passed with flying colors. So I'm like,
that's great to hear.
Good for you, Eric. Well, thanks for taking some time out of your day and hopping on one of these calls and just sharing a bit about your experience with other folks.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So if you could, Eric, could you just walk us through kind of where you were at prior to getting your TEFL certification?
Well, my wife and I were very interested and still are very interested in moving to Europe and working there, having some sort of job where we can live there for a year or two. And I'm retired now from government service. So teaching English seemed to be a great option. In my career, I taught emergency management classes, and I've done some religious education over the years too. And so I really liked being in the classroom, being a facilitator, a teacher, an instructor in the classroom. And so teaching English overseas just seemed like a great fit.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you have such a great background coming into this field. You're not like jumping into a classroom for the first time, which is always nice. I always tell people, like, it's scary to move to another country, and it's scary to stand up in front of a group of people and teach them for the first time. So if we can maybe knock one of those off, if we've had some experience in one of those areas, it just kind of brings the anxiety level down a few notches, hopefully.
Right.
So with that being said, you're coming into this experience with, time spent training people already. So I'm really curious, Eric, like, what were you looking for out of your TEFL training when you kind of started that research process? How did that all look from your end?
Yeah, well, when I started, the kind of on the internet, it expressed that people should have a TEFL certification before they teach, and I thought that's a great idea because you can always learn something. And I have never taught English before, so I wanted to learn. And so in my web search, I went to some sites where they compared different organizations and the courses that they provide. And TEFLPros was always in there, top 3, top 4, as a recommendation from these folks that have compared many different schools. And then I remember one review had TEFLPros as best as for foreign placement. So that kind of caught my eye to start with. And I wrote my notes up, and then I had some things going on. Then a couple of months later, I was ready to take the course. So I went to TEFLPros first and set up an appointment with you, Whitney Williams. And I just thought we had a great interview. You explained the course. You explained a skills-based approach to TEFL teaching, the importance of lesson planning and resources and so forth. And so I just thought that was a great fit. So I signed up for the course.
Awesome.
Oh, and accreditation was important for me too. In the review, folks mentioned that you should take a accredited course, and the TEFLPros is, and all along in all the reviews, it said that TEFLPros was accredited. So that was another thing I was looking for.
Yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that's something we get a lot of questions about. I won't veer off course and go down that rabbit hole, but yes, the accreditation process in this industry is sometimes like, comes with some questions that people have. So that's great that you did your homework and you're like, okay, I'm only going to look at companies that are fully accredited and go from there. Yeah. So then you joined the course and, you know, I can say from our end, like you very committed student, very diligent. You hopped straight in and like got to work, which is awesome to see. And so what was that experience like for you?
Well, the course was, I thought, excellent. Very, very good. It's primarily a virtual training, but it has all the support of you and videos of others teaching classes. So it's a great course. It's set up into several modules, I think a total of 12 modules. And then each module has several units. So, and a unit is, you know, maybe an hour or so or less. Some units maybe a little bit longer, but most are right around the hour. So you can really dive into the material, you know, understand it, and then take a break. The course material is great. There's reference material and an activity book. And then there's videos of teachers teaching a 1 hour session. And those were really helpful for me because we went through some lesson planning. And so with the material, you have the teacher's lesson plan for that plan. And then, of course, we're set up to take some notes. And so you can really see the teacher moving through the different parts of the lesson and how they do that, and also how they adjust to whatever's going on in class. And so forth. I remember one class, you know, a student came in late and a teacher just smoothly moved right through that. And it was really nice to watch that. So the material is great. There's portfolio assignments, which is hands-on, creating lesson plans or taking a look at different grammar things and so forth. And those were good. You learn a lot from each one of those. Material, the videos of the class, the portfolio work, and then there's an opportunity for weekly or twice weekly coaching calls, which I liked because I just liked talking through some of the things, and it just reinforced a lot of stuff. And, you know, it also highlighted some things that even though I went through the lesson and we were talking about it, oh, yeah, that's an important point. And so additional learning during the coaching calls and then, you know, for me, oh yeah, we just talked about that, and I would see that in a future video of a course being instructed, and that would, you know, be so helpful again, reinforce everything. So it's got a lot going for it. I really enjoyed the course, and it's rated for 120 hours, and that's probably pretty accurate. So a great course. I'd recommend it to everybody.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad that you had such a good experience, Eric. And it was a pleasure having you on all those coaching calls. We look forward to many more of those coaching calls together. But yeah, I just have to ask, this is like the one thing I always ask everyone on these calls. If someone came to you and they were like, you know, Eric, I've seen you go through this process. I know you've had a great experience, but like, I'm just still on the fence, you know, maybe they're just nervous about kind of making that life change. What type of advice would you give them?
Well, the advice I'd give would be to definitely take the course, because the course will help you with that decision, because you'll really have a great appreciation of how to teach, I think, English courses. You'll see other people teaching them, and can make that connection on whether or not it's the right fit for a person. So I would take the course. I know it costs a little bit of money, but even if you don't teach English as a foreign language, there's always great things in education. And if you're a professional and maybe a different field, there's a lot of things that you can take away from this course that would help you in any profession. But if you're on the fence, for someone maybe new to teaching, I would take the course and enjoy it. And if you're new to coming into a classroom, It's like anything else. You start in a classroom and you go through, and maybe that first one is a little bit chunky, and you think, oh, I could have done all these things differently. But after, I would say within a week or two, you'll definitely get a comfort level with teaching, and there's a lot of enjoyable things to it. It's just fun, I think. I think teaching's fun. So I'd recommend taking the course and then making your decision on whether or not, you want to pursue teaching English in the future.
Great advice, Eric. Thanks so much.
Mm-hmm.